Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome to Cliff Notes Live. Welcome to episode 234. Welcome to day 17. 17 days left to go before Big Brother 27. Yeah, we're right there, my friends. All right, before going further, I'm a little excited tonight. Before I go any further, let me start off with the big old SKD 143. I love my wife. I love my kids. I love reality TV. I especially love Big Brother, and especially love you guys that are out here hanging with me every Monday night. And those of you that are watching on replay as well, welcome aboard to another episode of Cliff Notes Live. We're getting to the fun time. Not that the rest of the year isn't fun as well. I don't want to discount those winter months, but hey, it's summertime out there. We got people in sequester somewhere, and it's perfect. If you haven't done so, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, turning on notifications, and hitting the old thumbs up as well, because I will be dropping a lot of content over the next few months. Lord, at the expense of sleep and seeing the sun out there, I'm going to be like a Count Dracula. I'm going to be indoors watching this stuff the whole time because, unless I can carry my TV screens outside and watch out there as well. No janky world for me. It's going to be all indoors. All right, before we go any further, well, let me tell you a little something before I even go through the thing. Run a little bit late because I put on a shirt. And I realized as I got ready to go live, it was a green shirt. Doesn't show up so well with the green screen. I was floating around just nothing but a head on up, just like Jankee himself. Yeah, we're going to talk about Jankee tonight. But anyway, let me see who all's out here. And let's get the show on the road, so to speak. First one in here for the comments, at least Audrey Cobb. Howdy, Audrey. How are you doing? Marilyn Sutherland. Everyone excited for BB27? Yes, ma'am, indeed. Brian Hostetler hit 99 degrees outside today. It is hot. It's definitely summertime. All right, I'll tell you later. Brian's watching a show, clip from 2002 Cleveland Browns. They lost the game with no time left because one of your players threw their helmet, and the Kansas City Chiefs got to kick a field goal. Just a little trivial thing I saw, but I thought of you, my friend, when I saw that clip. Tough to be a Browns fan. All right, Brian, I hope you're doing fantastic. Kennedy Franklin, I hope you're doing fantastic as well. Let's see, who else saw? Oh, somebody named that. Big Jake. Howdy, Big Jake. And Ma as well. Ma, how are you, my friend? Let's see. Carol Mosier as well. Howdy, Carol. Michelle Moore. Karen Loveland. Amanda. Howdy, Amanda. Patricia Miller. I love seeing these names out here. Going through as quick as I can. Cindy Hire. Hi, Cindy. How are you, my friend? Ad's out here as well. Let's see. Andy W. Also, howdy, Andy. Melissa Evans. Going through this quick as I can. Cash Watch. Howdy, Cash Watch. Let's see. Who else do we have? Tina Harlan Sunstead. And I think Doreen Morris. Ryan 51. I got a lot of y'all here. Chaz as well. Wyatt Garrett. Misfire. All right, Misfire. We're going to talk about you in just a second, my friend. Paul Long. Howdy. Deb Meckerman. And Clinton Merchant. Howdy, Clinton. Posse. Who is? I think that's about it. I hope that's it. Till we're getting near the season itself, because it's starting to y'all's names out here starting to get longer and longer. All right, for those of you who don't know, and I think my mom may have mentioned it a little bit before I came on, Misfire is a little celebrity of our own here on the show. I love to see it. Was on the quiz show for, what was it, Washington, NBC. I think if I recall, it's called The Scene, asking questions about the Washington area, happenings around Washington. And Misfire got to be on there. So check out the link that I think Ma or someone else posted out there. Congratulations, Misfire. I loved watching. I was trying to play along. I've been to Washington, D.C. a few times, but just on quick little trips. So I didn't know any of the answers. But it's still fun to play along. And congratulations on being on TV for a little while, but maybe not the last time we're going to see you on TV. That goes for a lot of you, my friends. Y'all better be applying to the Big Brother and a few other shows all the time, because I want to see y'all bright, smiling, shining faces on some reality show somewhere down the road. All right, let's see what. That's so much talk. Let me check out the questions, and then we'll talk about a few things here. Patricia Miller saying 17 days to Big Brother 27. Woohoo! Yeah, I'm so excited about it. Now it's starting to feel real. Audrey Cobb is saying excited for Big Brother to start. Yes, indeed. Just think, we've got after this, we've got one more Cliff Notes Live before we get the show actually starting on July 10th. That's right. I mean, next week will be the 30th, and then maybe we got 2 shows. All right, I take that back. We got a little bit longer. It's still going to go so fast. It's a possibility that Monday show, which would be on the July 7th or something like that, 6th or 7th, that could be the reveal day. We may know something about the cast here pretty quick. Fingers crossed. Absolute fingers crossed. Y'all have asked a few times, do you think they're in sequester yet? We're now 17 days out. It may still be a little bit early, but it would not surprise me at all if they start grabbing people and flying them out to LA somewhere between now and this weekend. I think that's certainly feasible. Maybe between now and, say, middle of next week or something. So if you just happen to be driving by your local park, or you're at a nightclub or something, and you see someone just standing there with about 20 cameramen standing all around them, think about it, and maybe remember their faces, just in case. You never know. During my season, someone did that with Sam Smith, and they actually knew he was going to be on the show before he ever got in the show, because they had seen him on a truck stop or somewhere getting filmed. I know during mine, we were at a little park nearby, and I was fishing and everything. There were a couple of people watching, and they came over and said, "Hey, what's going on?" And I think the producers told them something like, "We're shooting a commercial," and just left it at that. They aren't going to say it's Big Brother, but I know even while we were at the house, as they were filming me driving off in the car, there were a few neighbors that were kind of looking out the window, and we were worried that some of them maybe would say, "Hey, what's he doing with the cameraman on him or something?" Fortunately, everyone was quiet, didn't say anything until I got in the show, because I would hate to have something happen that would cause someone to be off the show a little bit early. It may not matter once you're secured and gone, and you don't have any contact with the outside world anyway. Such a weird feel, such an incredibly weird feeling. But yeah, it's getting ready to happen to 16 or so people right now, and I'm so excited for them. I truly am. Now, if there's someone out there who's you're packing up right now, you're getting ready, you're going on the show, you're trying to learn as much as you can, if you reach out to me, mum's the word. You can trust old Boss Hog. I would not say a word, and I help you and your family as much as possible. And all you got to do is give me a shout out while you're inside the house. Yeah, I'd help you no matter what. But yeah, reach out to me if you're trying to get just that last little bit of information before you go in there. All right, let's see what some questions are before we go any further. Karen Loveland is saying, yeah, don't have to ask about your background today. It's Jankee, Jankie. Yes, indeed. We'll talk about Jankee. Cash Wash Wash is saying, why is the arch nemesis Jankee here? All right. Here's the thing. I think I told y'all last week or the week before that I maybe wouldn't be completely surprised if Jankee made a return appearance this season. Well, funniest thing, while I was out there today, first of all, while I was out there, I found the Jankee song. So now I got it stuck in my head all over again. But while I was out there, I actually found an article from Entertainment Weekly or some other source that came out not too long after BB 26 wrapped up, in which the producers, Allison Grodner and Rich Mahan, both indicated that Jankee is indeed coming back for Big Brother 27. Allison Grodner said that Jankee may be back in a slightly different role. I think Rich Meehan said something about expect the unexpected. So, yeah, we don't know exactly. Rich Meehan also said that they had more people write letters and comments about Jankee and about them trying to kill off Jankee last season than they've gotten on any other character in Big Brother. So with that in place, I think Jankee's back. I think Jankee is back, just like Otev and just like Zingbot. I think we're going to see Jankee for several more seasons going forward. Now, I don't know if Jankee will be here to torture the house guest, or Jankee will be back as their best friend and guide to help them. Jankee reminds me of Navi on The Legend of Zelda. If you've played that game, you're running around with Lancelot, or what's his name? I can't remember. I think it's Lance. Anyway, you're running around there, little Navi's up in the corner saying, hey, and giving you hints when you need to. That's what I feel like Jankee is, just kind of following along, giving you us little hints here and there. But yeah, I expect to see Link, not Lancelot. Lancelot Link. Hey, Lancelot Link was a monkey show I used to watch as a kid. Bunch of spy agent monkeys talking and Yeah, you had to be there. Uh, I liked Lancelot Lake. The I don't remember what that's called. Something Lancelot Lake. Anyway, getting way off topic here. I think Jankee's going to be back, and we'll just see whether they cringe or not. I hope they don't spend an entire week outside like they did last season. Do something a little bit different. But if Jankee just shows up, maybe. How about a Pandora's box of some sort, where as a punishment, you are stuck inside a have-not room or inside the Pandora's box room for 24 hours straight, and Jankee is talking to you nonstop the whole time and making you do stuff. That would be that'd be taking you off the show real quick. You'd probably just go absolutely bonkers doing that, right? And it was guaranteed you'd spend the rest of the season doing nothing but singing the Jankee song. That'd be pretty rough, right? You may have people self-evict just to avoid that. But yeah, I'm kind of excited to see Jankee back again. The other Ainsley, not so much, but Jankee, bring Jankee back, and I'm absolutely fine with it. Can you tell I kind of getting ramped up a little bit? Yeah, it's going to be fun. All right, let's see. What else do we have on here? Chaz is saying, I'll keep putting in my application for Big Brother every year. Chaz, just puzzle pieces. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Keep putting it in because there's people who've tried out 7, 8, 9, 10 times and they got in eventually. We've seen out some of the cast for Amazing Race, for example. I know. Well, we've seen some for Big Brother and Survivor also. So don't give up hope. Every year is going to be a little bit different. The casting people, you may have had someone to watch your video that just hadn't gotten their morning coffee and was just in an irritated mood when they saw yours. And next season, completely different. So none of y'all give up hope because it's all about the journey anyway, right? I mean, yeah, you all want to get on just like I did, but it's kind of fun just applying and thinking about it if nothing else. So yeah, keep on trying. I'll be seeing you out there, Chaz. All right, let's see what else. Misfire saying, are the intros for the new house game being filmed this week? Probably not. Here's the way it works. For how it works. With me, I was grabbed about a week ahead of time, somewhere around a week ahead of time. And during that week, they do things like they make a final decision on what clothes you're going to wear when you go into the house. They have to approve it and make sure it looks good to the camera and it fits whatever role. They approached me and said, Cliff, what would you like to wear when you go into the house? And I said, well, how about this or this? And they took 2 or 3 different photos of 2 or 3 different ideas. I had different, of course, with me, it was all jeans, but the other people, it's a little different. They took different photos and they came back and said, yeah, we're thinking go with option A. That'll work. So you do that one day. They come in one day and they teach you how to use your microphone and how to change out the batteries. There's one day where they do a lot of press where you just spend a whole day. You're never with the other house guest. They make sure that's the case, but you go to a lot of different locations and just talk to people over and over again. I remember that's when I talked to Ika Wong with Entertainment Tonight, Canada. Talked to Jeff Schroeder in the diary room. Talked to a lot of newspaper affiliates, Parade Magazine, things like that. So you spend a whole day doing that. But there's also things they do where they put you in front of green screens and say, yeah, act silly with a beach ball or with a flamingo or punching bags. And it's where they get a lot of the other intros where you're just doing goofy stuff. So there's a lot of things like that. The intro video, and let me back up on that because you asked about the intro video. The intro videos are typically filmed when they grab you, when they first snatch you, because they want to film it on location with your family or in front of a classroom or a workplace, things like that. So they'll film all that now as they start grabbing the people. The final thing that they'll do, if they have, they've kind of gotten away from it here lately, but during my season, they had the little intro where it would spin around and get to each of us. I remember, I think mine was something like, turn around, do a head tap or something like that. They put us in front of a giant green screen and had us do a bunch of different moves and things like that. And then they took our professional pictures, being the ones that go up on the memory walls, and just a lot of procedural stuff like that. But the whole time you're doing it, anytime you're outside, they've got masks that you wear, big blindfolds or curtains up on windows, things like that, because they don't want you to see out and potentially see someone but they also don't want people looking in and seeing who you are and maybe getting some kind of hint as well. So it was a very weird scenario or weird circumstances for that week or so, being led around and yet still, you don't know anything and just wondering what could be happening in the outside world, what could be going through the minds of the other 15 or so people that are going through the same situation you are. We didn't have a TV, so you couldn't watch the news. All we had were DVDs to binge and watch and all of that. And even with that, I tried to use that as a way to make a connection. I love musicals. So they had Seven Brides for Seven Brothers and they had Mamma Mia, were the two musicals in this big DVD collection. I watched both of them. I tried to dance just like the brothers, the Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. I feel bad for the people who are around me that may have had to put up with it. I tried to get Mamma Mia, and lots of times that DVD was checked out by someone else. So as soon as I got in the house, I said, all right, who was watching Mamma Mia? Of course, it was Tommy Bracco and Nicole Anthony and me. And so I tried to make that a topic as well. But yeah, so no, they probably have not filmed the intros yet, but as they grab the people this coming up week, that's when they'll be filming those things. So they've already got an idea probably what they want to film, where they want to film it. They just haven't done it quite yet. All right, Tina Harlan stands at Tina. How are you doing? Jankee is going to hold the keys to the secrets. Could be. All right, here's the thing. When I put my little Instagram story out there advertising the show tonight, one of the things I did was I tagged CBS Big Brother's official Instagram account. I always try to do that just so they know I'm out here promoting them and stuff. But I did notice their Instagram account always has the Big Brother house as the little photo that you see on their official Instagram account. If you go out and look for CBS Big Brother, it is no longer the Big Brother house. It's a key. It's a gold background with a gold key in their picture. So they're really coming in heavy with this concept of keys. We saw Julie Chen with the back wall of keys. Well, now it's part of their official Instagram account as well. So yeah, keys to the kingdom, keys to the secret. Keys unlock things, right? Keys keep things private and secret from some people and allow access to other people. So who knows? Maybe the have-not room is going to start off as not a have-not room, but a secret room, and whoever can find the right key. What if, for those of you who watched the Harry Potter series, do you remember, was it the first series? I think it was, where Harry, Hermione, and Ron had to go through and find the right key out of thousands and thousands of keys. What if they just take them to the backyard and say, all right, guys, here's 10,000 keys. One of them opens up the secret door upstairs, but we're not going to tell you which one. And you can only carry one at a time upstairs to try it out. Some of you may be interested in it. Some of you may think it's not worth your time. What are you going to do? And just see who's willing to really run up and down those stairs over and over again. Probably not, but I'd be in for that. Of course, that'd be typical. We get live feeds the first night, and it would consist of nothing but 12 hours of people running back and forth, trying out keys upstairs or something. I'd still watch it. I'd still watch every bit of it and be cheering for people and trying to figure things out. But yeah, I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Just think about it this way. 17 days out, in 3 weeks and 21 days, we're going to think at least that we know everything we need to know about Big Brother, that we're going to know everything about the house guest. We're going to start learning about the twist. Yeah, it's going to be great. All right, let's see what we've got on here. What's that? Chaz is saying, what was the hardest thing to adjust to after you came out of the house? How long did you wake up and reach for your mic? Good question. The mic wasn't that big a deal. You know what the hardest thing for me was just making decisions. Just little things. I remember the day after I got out, I had my wife there, my kids, my mom was with me, my future son-in-law, future daughter-in-law. So I had all my loved ones with me. And they asked me, they said, all right, Cliff, it's Friday morning. Where do you want to go eat? Your first day of freedom. Where do you want to go eat? And I remember telling them, said, y'all are going to have to pick maybe some breakfast somewhere. But beyond that, I'm just not used to making decisions about things like that. Everything has been so regimented. I'm told when I have to stay awake. I'm told when I have to go outside. I'm told what kind of food I can eat based on what's in the fridge, things like that. So it took a little while of getting used to having that freedom of being able to go out and do stuff. It took a while. Everyone says, "Oh, having your phone back is tough and everything." And maybe a little bit, but for me, what was really weird was having my wallet back in my pocket. I went 3.5 months without having a wallet, without seeing any money, a credit card, anything. So just to put that wallet back in my pocket made me feel, I don't know, like a regular person again. So that certainly took some getting used to. In terms of just the overall mental, it wasn't me waking up and reaching for my mic. It was me dreaming every single night that I was still in that house, and they were stress dreams. It was dreams such as me having a nightmare that, oh my God, eviction is tonight. And I just found out there's another room of people that I never even talked to. Surely they're not going to try to save me because they don't know who I am because I screwed up and didn't talk to them. And just those kind of things that I would wake up in a cold sweat thinking that something was going on that I had screwed up in the house. I mean, that my mental psyche was all thinking about Big Brother. And we lasted, season for us was over September 26th, I think, something like that. And that really lasted until the Christmas holidays. And once we started getting the family around and putting up Christmas trees and all of that, then eventually I kind of recovered. But yeah, there was a month or two where my brain was still so wrapped up in this whole idea of worrying about everything going on around you. It was a rough few months. That CBS has a psychologist for everyone who wants it. And I know there's some people in my season saying, yeah, I don't need that. I said, bring it on. I'm happy to talk to someone that can help me maybe maneuver through the after effects of Big Brother. I've always been appreciative of that. All right, let's see. What else do we have on here? Doreen Morris is saying, is there going to be a rewind on the live feed? I hope so. I so hope so. Here's what I'm facing. Oh God, it's going to be such a long premiere night. July 10th. I think I've told y'all before, I think I'm going to go up to Dallas. Kat Dunn and Brooklyn Rivera have a big shindig going up there, a premiere party. It's going to be at the Grandscape, whatever theater is at the Grandscape, which is in the Colony, a suburb of Dallas. Big movie theater up there that they're going to do a live premiere of the first night. I've heard they've already sold out the theater, so now they're moving to a bigger size theater just to accommodate everyone. So it's going to be fun. Brooklyn's going to be there. Kat's going to be there. I'm going to be there. I would be surprised if Quinn wasn't there. We may have Elena Davies. Cody and Nick live in the Dallas area. Who knows? Maybe James Hewling. Who knows who else is going to be up there? Everyone's welcome. Now, I do know they're selling tickets this season. Check out Kat Dunn's Instagram, and she's got all the details because I'm not involved in any of that. I'm not getting paid, or I'm just showing up because I love talking to Big Brother fans. But we're going to do that. So I'm going to do the premiere party, spend a solid 7 or 8 hours talking to everyone up there. That's one of my favorite things to do. But then as soon as it's over, I'm going to have to rush back somewhere, hotel room or something, and watch live feeds, take all my notes for the first night, try to do a recap first thing in the morning, and then come back to Houston. It's gonna be a busy 24 hours. Maybe I just need to call an Uber and have them drive me back to Houston. That'd be an arm and a leg cost, but yeah, it'll be well worth it. But yeah, so I'll be doing a premiere party July 10th, and then we'll start the recaps as soon as the live feeds are on. Are they gonna have rewind or not? I don't know, but I hope so. If not, I got to figure out exactly how I can best watch and record and remember everything that takes place, because I got 2 ears, but it's hard for them to listen to conversations in 2 different rooms and keep track, especially on the first night when you got 16 people and there's so many conversations going on. And I'm still trying to remember whose names are who and all. First week or two of the live feeds reviewing is kind of tough. The last week or two is kind of tough because then there's nothing to talk about. Not really. So yeah, but we will find out. Yeah, I'll find out at the same time y'all will, as far as exactly how those live feeds are going to work. Karen Hummer saying, did they ask you what you wanted in the house regarding food before you moved in? No, they didn't ask anything. I think they said, do you have any food allergies that we need to be aware of. Tommy, during my season, was severely allergic to peanut butter. So they did some things. For example, we had 2 jars of jelly. We had a jar of jelly in the main refrigerator in the kitchen, but then there was a separate jar of jelly that was kept in the refrigerator in the storage room. And that was Tommy's jelly, just because they knew people were going to potentially have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. They didn't want someone to take a knife that'd been in the peanut butter and then stick it in the jelly jar, and suddenly you got a little peanut butter in there that can cause issues. So we all knew, make sure that Tommy stays away from the peanuts and all of that. So they do watch out for that. We had Al the alien came in during our season, and one of the things he did is he picked up a jar of peanuts and poured them out, or started to pour them out on the floor to make Jack clean them up, just to be a pain. And he started to do it. We all started yelling, said, "No, don't do the peanuts. Tommy is allergic. We don't want peanut dust everywhere. Tommy's allergic to them." So he stopped, and I think he poured out rice instead. So they certainly do pay attention to that. I think Kat maybe had some. She didn't like gluten, so I think maybe they had some gluten-free bread or something. But beyond that, nah, they didn't ask me anything about it. The only thing that they do is, one of the things that you're asked to do while you're in sequester is start thinking about, if you win HOH, what do you want in your HOH basket? So they ask me, can you give us some of your favorite desserts, your favorite foods that maybe you would want to see in an HOH basket? They also said, can you list some of your favorite albums? Give us a list of albums that maybe you'd want if you won HOH. So they started asking us those questions. I know Kat put down what she wanted, a kitten or a puppy in her HOH basket. Well, been interesting to see if she'd ever won HOH. But I remember putting down, that I wanted Shiner beer, and that I wanted kolaches, and I wanted some Tabasco sauce. I don't remember that I wanted donuts. But yeah, they ask you those kind of questions, but just for HOH. As far as the food goes, they had a saying a lot that, hey, if you want something special, come into the diary room and tell us. Doesn't mean that you're going to get it. The rule was, come in and tell us, and we'll think about it, and maybe it'll show up, maybe it won't. But the other rule is, you can't ask for anyone else. I could, if Nicole said, "Hey, Cliff, go ask for some green tea," I'd go into the diary room. "Hey, can we get some green tea?" I'd say, "Cliff, do you want the green tea, or does someone else?" "Well, yeah, it's someone else." We'll tell that someone else they have to come in and request it. They wouldn't honor any request unless you specifically came in and requested it on your own volition. So most stuff they just say, "Cliff, all right, well, appreciate you asking, but no." But there are a few times I'd go in and say, "Hey, we're low on milk. Can I maybe get an extra milk?" And it'd suddenly pop up. There were other times I went and say, "Man, we're already out of eggs, and we got 3 days left to go. Any chance I could get another dozen eggs?" They say, "Yeah, sorry, Cliff, she rationed it, you and everyone else in the house." So they very rarely. Now, I do know towards the end of our season, Holly asked for some coconut milk because she wanted to fix some Thai food. And they were so desperate for content at that point in time. We were all just lollygagging around doing nothing. So they gave Holly the coconut milk so she could fix a fancy meal, and we could all go, ooh, ah. All right, here's the kicker. I knew I was going to get voted out the next night after she fixes this meal. So, it is what it is. She fixed it. I love Thai food, so I was excited to see how she cooked it. Fantastic, except when she served it, it was so hot. I took a bite, and this peanut paste that was part of the meal was boiling hot, stuck to the roof of my mouth, burned all the inside of my mouth. I felt miserable, and all I could think was, great, I'm going to spend the next 24 hours talking to press and everyone else, and I feel like I'm going to talk like that because my mouth is all burned. And I wasn't real happy, but it worked out. But now they don't ask you. They'll take your suggestions, your request, but that's usually as far as it goes. I haven't said that. They fed us pretty well. All right, let's see. They gave us way too much steak and fish, and I would have been happy with hot dogs and eggs all season long. All right, Ed saying, AI suggested I watch The Snake. Only been a couple of episodes, but it seems promising. All right, let's talk about, we'll come back to Big Brother as we go through, I'm sure. But The Snake, 2 episodes so far. I've been watching it. First episode, I was like, yeah, maybe. We'll see. Second episode, I kind of liked. I actually did enjoy it quite a bit. For those of you who haven't watched it, I think it's on YouTube. We stream on YouTube. I think it's on Standard TV, Fox, maybe. So I think so. Anyway, it's pretty good. It's somewhere between Traders and Big Brother or something. They're out on an island, so combine Big Brother and Traders and Survivor all into one. But no, it's pretty good. They've got one person, a woman who is, and I don't want to give names, but a woman who, it seems like they're setting her up to be the villain. She seems very confident in her ability and her intelligence compared to everyone else. So we've got that. But we had an eating challenge. They had to eat disgusting kinds of foods to win kind of their version of HOH. And so it's always fun when you watch people having to eat disgusting foods and all. During my season, we didn't have one of those challenges. I know the season before they'd had one, because I remember, I think JC having to drink some kind of anchovy milkshake or something. It was an Angela and all. They didn't have it during my season. I was so convinced the week I won HOH, that veto competition, we were all set up in separate rooms, isolated before the veto comp. And I don't know why. I really thought that was the week they were going to have an eating challenge. I spent the entire time waiting for my turn, trying to psych myself up to, hey, whatever it is, eat it. You got to eat it or drink it because you need this veto so you can make things happen. And I was so psyched up. And then I went outside, and it's not eating challenge. It's how quickly can you rip your clothes off while sitting on a jet ski, which was fun too. One of my favorite competitions, but I really thought it was going to be an eating competition. I wish they would bring more of those back. Seems like they have gotten away from that. And I don't know if it's because they think that been there, done that. You see it too often because of Fear Factor and the challenge and other show. And now the snake and all. Survivor got away from the disgusting food challenges, it seems like, as well. But bring it all back. That's what I want to see. But yeah, they didn't have it during my season, but I was sure they would. They had it on the snake. Every week, one person goes home. So it's going to be similar as they go through the season. You'll eventually have just one person left. But every week there's a new person who's a snake, which basically the snake is a person, their version of HOH, who in charge and gets to pick. They have kind of the way they evict people has been kind of cool so far. I guess it's considered a snake type pick because you pick someone, the snake picks someone, the head person, the snake picks someone to protect. That person picks someone to protect, gets all the way down to there's only two left. And then the snake gets to also make the final decision on who to send home. So the snake has a lot of power in this game. Yeah, I've enjoyed it so far. It's been a fun reality show. So we found a few shows to keep us occupied while we're waiting for Big Brother to start up. I wish we could binge it now because once Big Brother starts, I'm going to have a hard time fitting it in. But yeah, watch the snake if you haven't so far. All right. Squidly is saying, hey, Squidly, are you watching Love Island? Now, look at me, guys. Do y'all think I'm the kind of guy who would watch Love Island? Well, yeah, of course I'm watching it. I'm a little behind. I've only watched a few episodes. But yeah, Sharon and I started watching it this weekend. Interesting so far. They've already had one person removed because apparently of some comments she made that were some offensive comments made online before she went in the show. And they yanked her right off the show real quick. A whole lot of people, the most polite term I probably can use is eye candy. Probably better terms than some of the contestants use to describe each other. But a lot of people who just seem to be very interested in finding love, be it short term, long term, any kind of term. Finding maybe not even love, maybe finding some affection and some fun times with the opposite sex. Yeah, it's incredible place. They've got a place over in Fiji where they're staying at. So yeah, we're watching it, and yeah, it's very interesting. I'm probably not a reality show that I'm going to be trying out for anytime soon. The only person who's more grateful than Sharon over that declaration is all the producers of Love Island, who probably would not be real interested in seeing me running around shirtless and doing some of the challenges that they do on there. I get it. I'm not offended, not at all. But yeah, it's funny because the very first season of Love Island, the US version, took place the same season as season 21 of Big Brother. We knew it was going to be premiering at the same time as our show. In fact, while we were in the house, we got to see a real quick clip of it. Winston was on there was he season 20? I think with Angela and all them. So anyway, he was on it, but we knew Love Island was going to be right after our show. And we were so scared that maybe that was the huge takeoff hit of the summer. Everyone was going to be watching Love Island on CBS and that we were just going to be an afterthought. And we thought, oh, what if we get out? And everyone's like, yeah, we didn't watch it. We were busy watching everyone hook up on Love Island instead. And that really worried us. No, we asked a few times, production, how's Love Island doing? Yeah, guys, you don't need to know about that. We're playing Big Brother, guys. But we were worried about it. I got out and found out that maybe it wasn't a breakaway hit that they expected. I did watch the next season of it after I was out of the house. I think that was the COVID year. And instead of being on a fancy, beautiful island of Fiji with just the most amazing hangout facility and all that, they were on the roof of some hotel in Las Vegas that they had set aside for these people. And a little more Spartan accommodations than what we've got now. So yeah, I was a little surprised because I hadn't seen a season of Love Island since I think that season 2. It's gotten a lot fancier and a little more. I've heard people say it's a little bit more like the original British version, which is huge over in the UK. That while CBS had it on their network, maybe not so wild, but now that it's on Peacock, I think now that's on Peacock, a little more wild. So yeah, I'm watching it. I'm enjoying it. I don't have any favorites yet, but we'll see. That's crazy. Just an interesting lifestyle to go on that show. All right, let's see. Clint Merchant and Ma are saying, got an email from Big Brother voting on a 25th anniversary on July 5th when Big Brother's first, when Big Brother first came on. And Ma, you voted for Julie's, Julie's looks. Okay. Huh. They didn't send me an email. 25 years. Isn't that something? It was hard for me. What's today? June 23rd. I think when I got grabbed for sequester, it was June 13th. In fact, I think June 23rd, that may have been, I'll check Wikipedia. That may have been our premiere night for our season of Big Brother, which is now 6 years ago. 6 years ago. And I'm still sitting here talking about it. I've told Sharon someday, hopefully it's 60, 70 years from now, but someday when I've done everything I can on the face of this earth and I've moved on to different pastures, make sure my tombstone doesn't say anything about he was on Big Brother. That doesn't, but yeah, it's been 6 years and it's still so much fun. So yeah, I'm gonna have to check. I think it may have been right at 6 years since I was on the show. It still feels like yesterday. I saw a post from Nick for my season right before I came on the show, and he said that he had just started watching his season, our season. And he was talking about how he thought he really could have done something with it. Remember, he tried to form an alliance with Nicole and myself and him and Tommy and Christy. And I don't remember who else he had, maybe Sis or something. I know, probably not Sis. Who else would he have on there? Anyway, trying to form an alliance of all the non-couples that were left in the house. And he mentioned on there, said, if people hadn't started talking, lasted less than a day. If people hadn't started talking, we could have done something with it. I agree. It would have been short term. I wasn't going to stick with those guys forever because I knew I was at the bottom of the pecking order, Nicole and I. But short term, I would have played with them for a little while to see what happened. But it didn't happen that way. And Nicole told Jessica, or Kat, I can't remember which, Nicole told Jessica and Kat, I think. They blew up. They came and attacked us so much. They were not happy at all. I tried to tell Jessica, even if I was in an alliance, I would have been working from within the alliance to protect you. We would have been fine, but it is what it is. But yeah, Nick's just now watching his season. I've told y'all before, I've only watched the first third of mine. So it still feels like just yesterday. I could still tell you every specific moment in that house. It's incredible what sticks with you. All right. Karen Loveland's saying, I have dreams of being in the haze. Being in the house. Being in the house, and I was never a contestant. Well, it's because you're so passionate about the show. That just shows where your passion is. That's what happens when you watch these feeds 24/7. I do think that's why the passion of Big Brother fans is a little bit different than those of Survivor and other reality shows, because we get to watch not just what's edited and put on the screen once a week. We get to watch these contestants when they're doing the really important stuff, when they're sitting in a room strategizing and backstabbing and all that kind of stuff. But we also get to watch them just when they're doing nothing. People watching me when I'm in shaving or I'm cooking pancakes. Sharon used to watch a lot when we were watching it. She just watched the ladies in the house, putting on makeup and doing their hair. And, everyone's watching just the mundane things in addition to all the strategic, the plotting and all that. And I think because of that, we get to know these house guests better than any other reality show on the planet. I absolutely believe that. And because of that, we just feel like we know them better, right? I feel that way about people. When I met Quinn, I was like, oh my God, I know you already, Quinn. And to some degree I do, but there's also parts that you don't see on the show itself. And you just have to accept that. But welcome my world, having the nightmares of being in the house and all of that. But, what do they say? You can't get rainbows without a little rain. I went into the house knowing it was going to be stressful and all that. But it's all worth it. I wouldn't trade any of it for all the tea in China. Yeah, maybe for $1 million, $500,000, but you know what I mean. Let's see. Ma saying, I think they sent an email if you voted for America's favorite player. Oh, check your email. Okay, I'll need to check. Did I vote? I know I voted for a few things throughout the season. I don't remember. I thought I voted. I'm pretty sure I voted for America's favorite. Okay, I'll have to check. And maybe I got it, and I just, I'll look. I'll see. Butterflies 015 saying, I hope they show the HOH contest again at the end like they used to. Yeah, I agree. It's always more fun when you get the live HOH competition. It'd be first night premiere. I've got mixed feelings about a first night HOH. I guess it's okay. The only problem with that, I think, I've got to think about that. If you have an HOH the very first night, that means you immediately have someone who has power. And it makes it so much easier for them to start developing alliances and everything because of it. There's a lot of people who say, oh, throw the first HOH. You get too much blood on your hands and all that. I get all that. I think it allows you to be a key player that really gets you involved in the game that otherwise you may not have the opportunity to do. So I certainly would have won that first HOH if I'd had a chance. I tried. I was so proud of myself. I think I came in 5th place or so, hanging on to those logs. I thought, damn, that's pretty good for an old guy like me, hanging on better than all these people. And then later I found out half of them threw it. But no, I wasn't throwing it. I was trying so hard. But yeah, so I don't know. If you have a first night HOH, you immediately have someone who's got power. People are kissing up to them and all of that. If you go for a few days and then you have an HOH, you almost have a little bit more organic who's going to align with who, based not on who has power at that point in time, but just who you think may have power or who you just naturally it seems the most charismatic, or you just naturally vibe with, things like that. So if all things being equal, if I had the choice, I'd probably say go a few days before you have the first HOH. But they like to get things started right off the bat, and I'm sure they'll do it again this season. I'm okay with that. But yeah, I hope they have a lot of HOHs live. You hate when the feeds are down forever. You're just waiting for them to come back to see who's got the key around their neck. I know the HOH I won was not live. I put that key around my neck, and I know I walked around for a while making sure it was very easily noticeable, because I knew at some point the feeds were going to come on and people were going to be watching to see whose neck it was going to be around. And I knew how excited my family is going to be. I need to ask Sharon. I don't know who the first person in my family was that saw that I had the key around my neck as opposed to something else. She said that suddenly our phone network was going crazy. Everyone calling each other saying, hey, Cliff not only still in the house, he won HOH. He's in charge this week. And so, yeah, a lot of the middle of the night phone calls taking place that particular evening. I'm so happy knowing how happy my family was going to be when I won that HOH. That was an incredible night. All right. Misfire is saying, can you request wine, beer, and cigarettes in your HOH basket? Not really. First of all, cigarettes, nah, not a chance. I know Jack from my season kept saying, hey, if I win HOH, they're going to give me some, he called them darts. I guess that's a kind of cigarettes. It makes you think of old Reagan going against Rachel. Cigars, cigarettes. No smoking at all. The rule is that you can smoke, but only what you can carry into the house. And I know there have been contestants who barely brought any clothes because they had their whole suitcase filled with cigarettes. We didn't have any smokers during our season, at least not while they were in the house, and at least not tobacco. Outside the house, who knows? But inside the house, we didn't have any smokers. I was incredibly grateful for it. If you have cigarettes in the house, you're not allowed to smoke them inside. You have to wait until the outdoors, the backyard is open, which seems like a horrific torture to me. If you're so addicted to cigarettes, you're bringing them into the house in the first place, to only be able to smoke a couple of days a week seems brutal. Absolutely. They said if you're a smoker, you can smoke what you bring in while you're in the backyard, but if you want to quit while you're in here, you're having issues with it, we'll give you nicotine patches, we'll give you nicotine gum, things like that. I should have told him I was a smoker just so I could get that nicotine gum just to keep me up and awake and things like that during certain competitions. But that is the rule. They won't bring any of that in. Beer and wine, you can make recommendations or requests. Like I requested, I think either Shiner, which is a local Texas beer, or Lone Star beer, which is made here in Texas as well. They gave me Heineken instead because I'm sure the LA groceries didn't carry those beer brands. But you can request that. You can request, say, hey, instead of beers, can I get White Claws, or could I get extra bottles of wine? Within reason, they'll accommodate you on that. I think maybe Holly, when she won, always got a bunch of wine instead of beers. So yeah, to some degree, they'll let you do that, or they'll let you request some brands to some extent. The rest of the time, one of the things they told us is, hey, if you come in a dining room and you request beer every night or wine just to be delivered to all the house guests, the quickest way not to get those is to ask all the time, because then you're just going to irritate us and we're going to hold it back just to punish you. He said, if you want beer and wines and things like that, don't ask. Just trust that we'll deliver it a few times and let it go more organically. So we never asked the question. At least I never asked the question. People acted so crazy. 10 of us in the house, and they deliver 5 cans of beer and 2 bottles of wine, and we're supposed to split it all. Or if we're lucky, you get 1 can of beer to yourself. Well, whoop-de-doo. I like beer. I like wine, and it's fine to drink. I love it watching a football game or something else, but I don't go crazy over it. But people really, I guess it's like the hamster chasing that piece of cheese. It may just be 1 can, but it's still a reward of some sort. So we all got excited every time we went in and we saw those cans sitting there. And I use my beer as leveraged, as bribes. I know I gave a can of beer to Sis at one time. I came up with some bogus excuse. Oh, because you put up with something or other, because you supported me when Sam used the veto. I just made something up. But I gave her a beer just trying to get better on her good side, because she had been told that I was talking about trying to get her out and stuff. And so I drank a couple of my beers, but mainly I just use that like prison and cigarettes or something. I like, whatever. It carries a lot more. Beer's a lot more currency to trade away to other people for favors than anything I could get out of drinking it. So I used all of my beers, most of my beers, trying to do other things. Now, here's what I did request that they gave me in my HOH basket was Dr. Peppers. I said, guys, yeah, I know we got Cokes and all that, and I know we even have some Dr. Pepper, and I think we had Cokes in the storage room. I said, but I want some Dr. Pepper, and they gave it to me. So I spent one night. My first night as an HOH, I think, or second night probably. Second night as an HOH, I spent sitting in the bathtub with a couple of bottles of Dr. Pepper and a whole bunch of beef jerky. And that was my nirvana that particular week. So, yeah. Not a lot of choices that you get in there, but a little bit here and there. Oreo Hall. Oreo, how are you, my friend? Says, tried for the past 5 years to get on the show. We'll keep trying until I get on. That's all it takes. Oreo, you got to step up. Just tell me your name's Oreo, and that'll get people. You don't forget someone like that. One of these days. It's there's a lot of people that try it, so don't take it personally. But you never. 16 people who didn't expect to get on get picked every single year, and you never know which time's going to be your year. Our Cindy Hire. Hey, Cindy, I hope you're doing fantastic. Who is your pick to win Destination X? What do you think of the introduction of new players? For those of you who don't know, a Destination X, they go to a different location every week and have to figure out where they are. I couldn't tell you who my pick is because I don't know their names well enough just yet. But I've watched all the episodes so far. Introduction to new players. Who's the bachelor that just showed up? Is that not Chris? Peter? Is that his name? Peter. Peter the pilot. That's how I always remember him. Peter the pilot showed up, and a woman as well from, I don't remember what show she's from. Anyway, they showed up. Now, if I'm a contestant on the show, I'd be a little irritated. Just that much more people you've got to compete against, and especially if it's someone who's already been on reality TV, I'd be thinking, God, we already got rid of one reality TV show contestant. Now we got another one we got to deal with, another couple. So yeah, I wouldn't be real happy if I was a contestant. But on the other hand, did you really think that it was going to be a 6-episode season or whatever, and then it's going to come to the end? No, they had to do something. So I'm okay with it. Still very mixed feelings on that show. And part of the reason is because I know where they're at as soon as they see the first little anything. And of course, they don't see as much as we see, but I know it takes some of the drama away from me. As soon as this last episode, the second they showed the first shot of the country they were in, I recognized where it was. I don't want to be the spoiler and give it away if you haven't seen it, but I've been to that country before, and the architecture and things, it just was very obvious where they were located. And so I kind of like, all right, well, let's see if they figure it out or not. But I just feel like so far in this season, it's almost maybe not too so obvious, but it just seems like it's too, not easy is not the right word. It's just locations that are so famous as world cities. Maybe that's it. They're going to world cities that I feel like once you kind of have an idea where you think you are, it's easy to pin down this specific city. I kind of like the idea if it was a little bit more isolated, a little bit further out in the middle of nowhere. But that's just because I'm all about the uncertainty and the new experiences, as opposed to seeing areas where maybe I've already seen before. So I'm still watching it. I'm still loving it. Who's going to win? I don't know, ask me next week or two, and we'll see. Cindy's saying last week they told them the wrong country, and she bought it. Sabotage. Yeah. Well, not only that, she thought it was sabotage. I'm not sure the person who told her was trying to sabotage her. I think she was trying to protect her, and she just was wrong. She just made the wrong assumption. So yeah, it is hard. You trust someone. Well, maybe you trust them. Someone tells you something, and you trust them based on the fact that you think that you're working together, without really thinking hard enough about, what if they aren't right? What if they're not trying to screw me over, but they're still wrong in what they're telling me? And I think that was more what happened than sabotage. Of course, it could be that it absolutely was sabotage, and the first person's just playing it off as a way to make her seem a little less cutthroat. I'm not sure. Oh, speaking of which, Sharon and I just saw that they've had for the past few weeks, Cutthroat Kitchen, another reality show that we absolutely love on the Food Network. We're going to be checking that out. I haven't watched it yet, but that's going to be our binge show. And then we started watching, I haven't watched reality cooking for a while, but we started watching 24 on 24 or something like that. They take 24, I think it's on Fox. They take 24 chefs, or Food Network. I think it's Food Network. Anyway, they take 24 chefs. They start a 24-hour clock. They have cooking for 24 hours straight. Every hour is a different competition. Every hour, someone comes in last and goes home. So it starts off with basic things like who can peel potatoes and whisk egg whites the fastest. And then it gets into who can fix different proteins. But it's around the clock. So we've only seen the first couple of episodes, but yeah, by the time you get to hour 22, 23, I'd be in there saying, oh, here's my toast and jelly. Here's my cinnamon toast or something. That's all I can do because I can't keep my eyes open. It's a long time, not just the time, but also the stress of having to be innovative for so many challenges and all of that. 24 cooks is a lot of cooks. Why they say too many cooks spoils the broth? Well, 24 cooks was a lot of broth sabotaging going on in there. So yeah, we watch a few binge shows. We're just biding time until 27, until the July 10th date. Let's see. Ma saying, a few days ago, my dad got a Facebook post about your season starting. There you go. It's still starting. Everyone's I just turned 14 and wasn't even in high school. then and now I'm in my 20s and here and halfway through college. I know. We've spent many years together, Ma. I think it's pretty cool. Part of my BB family. I'm part of yours. I'm very proud to say. Gotten a chance to interview you. Heard about the band. I'm still waiting for Cheeseburger in Paradise, but nah, it's cool. I've told y'all before, and I'll say it again. 7:58. So good. I really thought I'd do Big Brother, do my thing, then get off the show. And it's not like I'm gonna be a big influencer Instagram person. I just do my thing and go back to the real world. Getting to do this show and hanging with you guys every Monday. Cream on the top. So much fun. So incredible. Some of y'all that I've gotten to, new and old, I've gotten to know through this show. And I've had some of y'all on as special guests. Once Big Brother wraps for this season, I want to do it again and get a few more folks on as well, because I want to find out about y'all. Y'all hear me talk every Monday. I want to hear about y'all as well. So yeah, Ma, I love it. I love being part of your Big Brother family, and you got a friend for life. And I'm incredibly excited to see where you go as you go out and conquer the world, and I'm sure you will. All right, let's see. I guess with that, we're gonna call it down. I'm trying to think. We talked Love Island with Steak, Destination X. We talked about Big Brother. We're gonna talk about it so much more. Who do you think? Someone is sitting in their house right now, sweating bullets, wondering how they're gonna do on this show. Someone is thinking they're gonna come on that show and do horrible, and they're going to end up being America's favorite, or they're someone who thinks, I got this, I got it. There's not a chance I go home early, and they're going to be a first week eviction. There's just a lot of people that have got butterflies, and maybe there's some that are cool as cucumbers right now. You shouldn't be. I'm telling you right now, you shouldn't be, because it is an incredible experience. But yeah, somewhere out there, 16 people, well, 17 or 18, 19 because of alternates. We got some people are getting rather excited for what their summer is going to be like. And I got to say, a little excitement here as well. All right, guys, we are going to shut it down. Y'all have a fantastic rest of the week. We are fully into summer now, so stay cool. Get your viewing location set up, because it's getting ready to start. But have a great week. I will see y'all next Monday. Between now and then, if you got any Big Brother questions, shoot them to me. We'll cover next week's show. Who knows what rumors we'll hear between now and then. But y'all have a great one. And finish up with a big old SKD 143. Love my wife, love my kids, love all you guys, love reality TV, love Big Brother, and the Big Brother on TV, not the George Orwell 1984 type. But y'all have a good one. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications, hit the old thumbs up. And until next week, guys, have a great one. I'll see you then. Cheers, my friends. 17 days. When we meet next week,